Okay, so in this video we're going to be looking at the Values tab. Now the Values tab is basically a graphical display of how well a range hits a certain board. So here we have a King Queen 4 board in, and what you can see here is against the complete range, this is all the hands that are available in the hand grid. We can see, for example, that they make a pair 42% of the time, or 284 combinations. And in fact you can double click on one of these bars and it'll assign all the pairs into the group we have down here. So it's another way of doing a quick auto selection basically. So we just double click on pair and it puts all pairs automatically into group 1. You can see here that that represents 41.9% or 284 combos of hands are now in group 1. Similarly we could put into group 2 all 2 pair hands, into group 3 all sets and trips. There you go. So that's all the value hands. It's got, you know, the value hands down to pair, and then it breaks down into the different pair types. Over pair, you know, there's the top pair hands, over pair to third pair. You get the idea. And then similarly, there's high card. That's all high cards, and then it does the specific types of high cards. So there's, you know, one over card. There's all the no over card hands. So that's all the value hands, and then below here we have the draws. So flush draw, we have no flush draws on this board. There are all the 3 flushes. And you know, you can do all the no flushes, and exactly the same here for straight draws, all the different types of straight draws. Now what can be useful here is cumulative, and as you would expect, it turns the graph into a cumulative graph. So you can see, you know, all hands have an overpaired to third pair or better 43% of the time, and you can in fact double click on that, and again this time it does an auto selection overpaired to third pair or better, as you would expect. And you can do the same with draws here. You can, you know, cumulatively there's, you know, backdoor straight draw, 1 gap or better, you know, assign them into the group. Now this graph does it for this entire range, but you can in fact set it to any range. So for example, let's assign into group 1 all third pair or better. Okay, but now we can actually go into here and go into group 1, and now you can see what this range is made up of. So you can see of these hands which are third pair or better, it's, you know, it breaks down like this, and you can do that for all grouped hands, all ungrouped hands, and finally you've got again a copy to clipboard, and that will copy this in a text form into a format that you can paste on a forum or share with friends or whatever. The only other thing you can do is, rather than double click, and that's a quick shortcut for assigning hands into groups, you can right click on a bar. Oh, in fact, if you just hover over it, it'll just tell you a bit more information there, the specific percentage, for example. If you right-click, you have the options to do add to or overwrite, just like the auto selection drop down here, add only or overwrite. You have this here in the menu, and you can choose which group. So you can go, okay, so let's do high card overwrite into group 2. You know. So that's pretty much the values tab. Again, it updates as you go. So, you know, we might do grouped hands. You know, there are no hands in this group. As we start selecting, boom, straight away you're starting getting output here in the values tab. So that can be a really useful way of looking at, you know, flop textures. Okay, let's change this to you know, Queen of Hearts, for example. Automatically the values tab will update. So okay, that completes part 2, and I think the next part, probably the final part, we're just going to look at the final tools and then the history